After almost 35 years, Subaru has decided to discontinue one of its longest running models. Now, this car first came out in 1989, and it was the exact same car that Colin McRae, World Rally Car Racer, won his first championship with in 1993. If that doesn't give you enough hints, then I will go ahead and share with you that the car that Subaru is now going to discontinue is the Subaru Legacy, our four-door sedan. This may come to a surprise for some people, but for many others, they may realize that the four-door sedan market is not as hot as it once was. And really for Subaru, the Legacy never was a very popular car at all. In 1994, they came out with the Legacy Outback, which was Subaru's introduction into the SUV market, which was becoming an emerging popular market at the time and still is today, still thriving strong, as we see with the many SUVs that are out there, Subaru included, with their Forester, their Outback, the Crosstrek, and even the third-row SUV like the Ascent. So that is Subaru's bread and butter. It's no surprise to me why they have decided to discontinue this, but if you are somebody who really loves the Legacy and you still want an opportunity to buy a new one, they do have these still being produced for the 25 model year, so you have about a year left before they will completely discontinue production on the Subaru Legacy. And good news is, they didn't change anything from the 24 to the 25 model year, so that means that the price is actually the exact same. It's about $26,000 with destination delivery to get a new Subaru Legacy, and because these aren't that much in high of demand, that also gives you an opportunity to get some discounts on them. So you can actually pay below MSRP, or very likely that you can pay well below MSRP on a 24 or even 2025 Subaru Legacy. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Alex. I make weekly videos all on Subaru related topics. So if you think you might enjoy those videos, consider clicking that subscribe button down below. I'm going to share some of my thoughts and reasons why I think the Legacy has died off. But before we get to that, I want to share some insight and a little bit of history on the Legacy. So as I mentioned before, it was first introduced in 1989, and then in 94 they came out with the trim line, the Outback Legacy, which was kind of like the five-door Impreza is now. It was the first introduction for Subaru into the SUV market and gave it a little bit more ground clearance, but still had the all-wheel drive system that Subaru became known for. And then in the year 2000, Subaru decided to split up the Legacy and the Outback. They came out with the Outback as a standalone model. And if you look inside of an Outback, it doesn't matter which year, but they always carry over the same interior design between the Outback and the Legacy, and that's because they're built on the same platform. The Outback just has more ground clearance than the Legacy, and of course now it's longer, it's much longer, you have a lot more cargo space. Subaru has had 19 straight month-over-month sales increases, so sales volume has actually increased, all while, unfortunately, the Legacy hasn't performed well. In 2023, Subaru sold about 161,000 Subaru Outbacks, about 159,000 Subaru Crosstreks, and then about 152,000 Subaru Foresters. So when you compare that to the Legacy only sold around 25,000 units, so drastically lower than the other Subarus in the lineup, and further compounding the point here that there's not enough demand to keep the Legacy around any longer. There are really three main reasons why I think the Legacy performs so poorly, and one of them is price point. So a Legacy is priced at about the same, when you compare to the same trim level, it's priced about the same as a Subaru Crosstrek, and it's really only a couple $1,000s less than the Forester and the Outback. So whenever you compare that to the offerings that you get on Subaru's SUV line, in my eyes, it just makes more sense. You get more bang for your buck, you get more value out of going with the Subaru SUVs compared to the four-door Legacy. The second reason that I think the sedan doesn't sell as well is because Subaru's promoted their vehicle as a car that you can take on adventures, go anywhere, take off the beaten path. And the Legacy, while it does have the world-class all-wheel drive system that we've come to know and love, it doesn't have as much ground clearance. So this has 5.9 inches of ground clearance. When you compare that to all of our Subaru SUV lineup, they have 8.7 inches of ground clearance as a standard, and some of them, even in the wilderness trim, have above 9 inches of ground clearance. So a lot more capable than the sedan is. And lastly, you don't have near as much space in the Subaru Legacy. So this just gives you an idea of the kind of space you're working with for yourself, for children and pets. And then in the trunk, you just don't have as much room for luggage and anything that you want to store when you compare to the Subaru SUVs. Not only do you have more interior space for people inside the car of, say, the Subaru Outback, but you also get cool features like the power lift gate. Opens up, you have a ton of storage space here. Of course, your seats fold down, which you can fold them down in the Legacy, but here we have even more space. You can take this cargo cover out, and then on top, the Outback is unique in that it has built-in crossbars, so you don't have to buy these separate. You can get crossbars on a Legacy, but the Outback has these crossbars that you can put into place whenever you need to put a cargo box or luggage carrier or bike rack on top or kayak rack on top. And then whenever you don't need it, you simply just fold it back in place like this, and it locks in place. So very easy to use and gives you a lot more flexibility with your car. It's always sad to see a model being discontinued, but the good news is that now that we are no longer going to have the Legacy produced out of the Lafayette, Indiana plant, that paves the way for more flexibility and capabilities for Subaru to produce another model in its place, whether it's a completely new model or another trim line for one of our existing models that gives some more room for more to come. Subaru has talked a lot recently about introducing their hybrids in the Foresters, the Outbacks, the electric vehicles. So I think we're going to see more of that, and we may see more of that in the States. So I'm not sure what's going to happen exactly, but I'm excited to see what's ahead. If you guys want to stay up to date with news and details on Subaru, consider clicking that subscribe button down below. If you enjoyed this video, consider clicking the like button. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.